Do you feel on the verge of burnout a lot of the time? I certainly do. I think twice a year I burn myself out. I kind of feel like I'm limping towards the holiday, or I'm limping towards like some sort of break or some sort of finish that oh, I just really need. And what happens is when I am in that process of kind of limping and getting somewhere, I find I'm not creative. I can't come up with the ideas that I would normally come up with. And when my team come to me with problems, I'm kind of like, I don't really know what to do. Like it's just so much harder to kind of process because I just feel like my brain's at 120%. And so this week's twerk is actually about designing for 80%, designing your work for 80%, and always leaving some wiggle room. And what happens is because we are, good, we're good at our jobs, we're effective, we're productive, we want to achieve, we design for 100%. We promise we want to do more. We want to deliver more. It's part of who we are. Actually, what happens is we end up burning ourselves out, we stress ourselves out, we can't think of ideas. The problem solving becomes more difficult, and actually we just start limping through our work, and it's not enjoyable. We're definitely not thriving, and workplace stress is on the rise. It is at 44%. 44% of us experience daily workplace stress. It is costing companies millions. It is increasing employee turnover. It is increasing the amount of time that employees are taking off work. We need to do something about it. And this is one thing that if we can change our mindset to think, I'm not going to design for 100%, I'm going to design for 80%, because we always have unexpected things coming in. The Wi-Fi breaks down, some app isn't working, the thing that was supposed to work a particular way didn't work the way it was supposed to work. These kinds of things happen. It's normal and it's natural. And what we need to do is we want to be busy enough, productive enough. We want that kind of good level of stress that we're actually motivated. It's really nice. It builds momentum, gets you to the finish line. But it's a very, very fine line between that kind of healthy stress level and this overwhelm, overburdened burnout stage that so many of us are close to. So this week's twerk, it's just about designing for 80%. Switch your mindset from 100% to 80%. If you design for 80%, and that means that it doesn't mean you put in your diary 80% of meetings now, or 80% of deep project work. Actually, what it means is that you're probably designing somewhere around 60% of your work. You're allowing for 20% kind of leeway, things that are going to be thrown in, and you've got a full proper 20% left. And when that time is then free, it allows for things coming in from left field that you can actually think things through. You can process it properly. Go back to our twerk about calm work. You can kind of look at that. You can plan more effectively. You're not just being really reactive and firefighting. You can actually think it through. That's number one. And then number two is you're spending that time. You can spend that time developing your network. One of the most powerful things we can do as humans in the workforce, because it's really important, we are human, and we're holding our value, and what we bring is our network, our creativity, our imagination. And you might think, my job isn't creative. Everyone's job is creative. By being a human, you have an imagination, you've creativity, and you're bringing something to that role that nothing else can. And so giving yourself that space to develop that. And it could be learning, it can be reading particular blogs, it can be, reflection, it can be mindfulness. And all of these things, they might seem, well, they're not, essential to my job. Absolutely. If you want to hold value in the workplace, that is exactly what you need to be working on. So giving yourself that 20% that you can actually have the capacity to do that. But also it's this spillover then. When shit does hit the fan, you've got that capacity to actually think it through, to process it properly, to work through it properly, instead of getting to that point of overburden and burnout. So let's make work better together. Let us know how you get on with the twerk this week. Take care.